Hey guys, it's Kanye and welcome to my channel. So I wanted to come to you guys and just give you an introduction on my new channel, which is Anchored Grace. So as you guys know, or some may not know, I do have a blog which is Anchored Grace blog, that is anchored in Christ, graced by God, real life inspiration from real life experiences. So I do have an actual blog, but today I wanted to kind of maybe do like I don't really consider this vlogging because I'm not vlogging. I'm just in the house talking or whatever. So I just kind of want to do like a video, a quick video. It will be a blog in the video form, so it's a vlog. Anyway, so I just wanted to come to you guys, just give you the brief introduction of the channel. It's basically going to be just life as I grow, as I evolve, as I learn, and as I just go through life, you know, just showing you guys what I want to show you, what you want to see, just sharing my life experiences. So again, it's going to be open, it's going to be candid, it's going to be transparent, it's going to be fun. I'm kind of like a deep person. Well, some people say I'm too deep, but that's all personal. So yeah, it may be deep sometimes, it may not, but I am excited. I'm excited to show you guys and to share with you guys just life and things that I go through, things that I've experienced that, you know, gave me wisdom and gave me knowledge and helped me to grow as a woman. And I'm just excited. Like, I'm really excited. So yeah, I wanted to do this because for me, even though I'm a reader, I realized that sometimes I don't have the time to sit down and read like a long blog or read a book. I have to actually like sometimes schedule like time to really read, which is kind of bad. Like, that's super bad. But it is what it is. So I kind of just wanted to come to you guys and share this with you. I had so many ideas to bring to you guys and to create and to like write out. Like right when I was on vacation, like as soon as I came back, I wanted to just jump into it. Unfortunately, as soon as I came back, I realized that someone hit my car while I was parked at my parents' house while we were on vacation. So I've been dealing with that, but I still kind of wanted to stick to my plan to get something in regards to my blog out, okay? So today, I want to talk about 3 ways to release the past. Really quick, I technically have about 5 to 10, but I wanted to stick with 3 just to keep the video as short as possible. So if you guys are interested in learning my quick tips of how to release the past, keep watching the video. Okay guys, really quickly, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, I promise. So 3 ways. Now the first way is going to seem a little cliche. It's going to seem a little like, Kanye, we already know that. Like, come on, that's what everybody says. Next, like, I already know. But I'm going to try to provide a different perspective or process on it. So I'm going to let y'all guess what it is. Okay. You was right. It's forgive. You have to forgive. Like, you have to forgive. I don't care what it is, who it is. You have to forgive. And a lot of times we make it, well, I wouldn't say we make it hard, but it's naturally hard to forgive because we're human and we are emotional sometimes, and we kind of move off of emotions, and we operate off of our emotions and our energy. So forgiveness isn't as easy for everyone, you know, because we're like, you know what, no, I'm upset, I'm hurt, I'm pissed, I'm angry, and until I'm not these things, then I'll forgive you. But that's not how it works. Right? So some of the things that I feel that goes into forgiveness is to own what it is that happened, own the feeling that it produced, and then basically start the process. So for me, forgiveness is owning it, feeling how I feel, but it's also realizing that I, one, have the right to be upset, but I don't have the right to stay upset. So what I mean by that is, so just for example, okay, like somebody, like, okay, so I had a breakdown with someone, or they did something to me and it hurt me. Okay, I'm upset, right? I'm going to be upset. I'm going to process it, but I have to let it go, because as long as I hold on to it, right? If I hold on to that upset, or if that sadness, that hurt, that anger from the past, I can't move on from the past. And the whole goal is to move on from the past and to release the past. So as long as I'm holding on to that and harboring that, I am doing myself a disservice, and I am allowing that to. I'm carrying that energy. I'm carrying that emotional baggage. I'm carrying all of this that I don't want. If my goal is to move forward and to let it go, I can't hold on to it, right? So I can be upset, but I can't stay upset. Another thing is this is hard too, and it's kind of like another cliche, but to step outside of yourself and to step into the shoes of the other person, to try to figure out a way to realize that they had to be going through something, or they had to experience something that caused them to do whatever it is that they did, right? So not necessarily meaning that you have to figure out exactly what it was that caused that, because that's not your job. Your job is to just get into a different perspective, to understand that it is something that is completely outside of you, outside of your control, and maybe even outside of their control. It may just be a result of an experience, okay? So that's that. And then another thing, and this is the final thing in forgiveness. Forgiveness has its own like 3 steps in my case. Is to learn your lesson. Once you learn the lesson, hold on to the lesson, and then let the hurt go, right? So when I say learn the lesson, I mean in each situation that we go through, in each experience that life gives us, or sometimes that God gives us, there is a lesson to be learned. So for me, I'm just going to be open and candid. In one of the most recent kind of relationship or connection that I experienced, I had to realize that in a sense I allowed that person to become an idol. I'm saved, so God is my number one, right? And he's supposed to be our number one. But what I had to realize is I allowed someone who I was in a relationship with, or who I was connected to become God in my life, or an idol in my life. Not necessarily like, oh, I worship you and you're my God. Not that. Never. That ain't never happened, all right? But in my actions, right? And not spending as much time in prayer or studying and going to church and just meditating and things like that. Just doing not having my spiritual practices and my spiritual growth at the forefront, my relationship with God at the forefront, and I allow that person to take, basically precedence over the most important part of my life, and most important relationship of my life, right? So that was something that I had to learn, and it had nothing to do with that person. That's all me, right? They can't make God number one, or keep God number one. That's my relationship with God. So that's something that I had to learn, right? So the blame doesn't go on them. There is no blame. It's accountability. It's self-accountability, self-awareness, it's responsibility, okay? And then the second lesson that I had to learn is that I allowed myself to settle for a situation that did not honor me as a woman. It didn't honor my values, my morals, my beliefs. It didn't honor me in any way. And I didn't go into it knowing that. Honestly, I got into a situation where I eventually learned things, and because I was in so deep, I allowed myself to try to not make excuses, but I honestly thought that I could stick around long enough for me to see the outcome that I wanted to see, okay? And that's just being real, that's just being honest. But again, it did not honor me, it did not honor my decision, my morals, my values, who I am as a woman, what I believed in. It was just a mess, okay? I'm being transparent. So what I had to do is I had to stop pointing the finger Like, yeah, this person did whatever they did. They lied, they played me, whatever. But I allowed myself to settle for something, and I had to realize that I had to figure out what was wrong with me that allowed me to be in a space where I settle for that. Okay, so again, it's not about that person, it's about me. Okay, it's about you. All right, so that's forgiveness, and that is, like I said, it steps even in the forgiveness stage. So again, you have to forgive, you have to relinquish the, every right that you think you have to stay upset. You have to own whatever you're feeling, but you have to learn your lesson, and then you have to let the hurt go. Okay, number 2 is you have to rid yourself of anything that will remind you of that situation or that person, and then you have to make peace with the process of doing that. So essentially for me, that means unfollowing them, that means that means deleting their number, that means deleting the thread, because you know how we do. We delete the number, boom, boom, delete the thread. Okay, we take screenshots, we do all this type of stuff, right? And then we want to move on, but our phones are filled with triggers, basically triggers. That's what they are. And essentially, you can't move on if you have your past right in your hand. You're carrying it, literally. We carry our phones everywhere, literally, right? So essentially, we're just, again, doing ourselves a disservice if we don't really get rid of the things that remind us of that situation, of that person, that triggers us emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. And sometimes you may have to block someone. Me, myself, personally, I feel like blocking is effective. It can be effective. If you have to, do it. If you don't, period. But you do have to get rid of those things. And another thing, and this may sound petty to some people, but I believe that you even have to disassociate yourself with things or people that are associated to that person. So I may have to unfollow someone who I know is close with that person because I may see pictures or things like that with them in there. That is a trigger. And that may seem deep or extra to someone else, but that's real life when it comes to your healing, okay? So you may have to do that. It's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why I said make peace with it is because it's easy. Just like I said, people will be like, oh, that's petty, or that's rude, or if you unfollow someone that's associated with them, that's not rude, it's not petty. This is your process, and you don't have to feel bad about anything, okay? So I say make peace with it because I don't want it to be from a negative place. You don't need to be like, oh, I need to unfollow them, because no, just like, you know what, for my healing, I'm not ready to see them on my timeline. I'm not ready to, things like that, okay? So period. Get rid of the triggers, make peace with that process. And last but not least, embrace the process of recreating yourself, rediscovering yourself, and redefining yourself. So what I mean by redefining yourself is realizing that you are not your mistakes. Your mistakes don't define you. Your choices, your poor choices don't define you. Your past doesn't define you. It doesn't define you. It is what it is. We make mistakes. We make poor choices. It's life. It's like, what is life without a few hiccups and without a few bad situations? Because if everything was good, what story would we have to tell? Whose life will we be affecting if we only have good things? Not everybody experiences just good things, okay? I don't want to get too extra or off or go on a tangent, but just rediscovering who you are. So I think I said redefining first, but I meant to say rediscovering. But it all ties into each other. Rediscovering meaning, okay, I was who I was in that situation. I made decisions in that situation. I made mistakes in that situation. But that was me then, right? So you have the ability to rediscover who you are. And life doesn't leave us the same. Experiences doesn't leave us the same after the experience. We go through something, it changes us, it develops us, it does something to us. So then we have to discover that, and then we have to rediscover who we are, right? Then we have the power to recreate who we are. So once you make that discovery, you have what you know now, but you can also create something new. You can create who you are as a woman, as a man, as a sister, brother, son, daughter, wife, husband, future husband. You create who you are. It's all within you. So you just have to tap into it, right? And then to redefine. So that means just as you are recreating, you get to redefine who you are. You get to, like I said earlier, you're not your mistakes, you're not your shortcomings, you're not your fault, your flaws and your faults. You are who you create, who you are. I mean, you are who you create. You are who you discover. You are who you define. So you get to define who you are. You get to redefine who you are as a woman. So yeah, I might have been a broken woman a couple years ago. I might have had daddy issues. I might have been in whatever the situation is, whatever your personal story is. That's what it was. And now I get to redefine who I am. Okay, after I've learned my lesson, after I've moved on from my past, after I've created a safe space to be free and to let go. So, yeah, that's it, pretty much. I don't want to talk y'all heads off, but hopefully that helps someone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it isn't all over the place. I try my very best to stay on topic. And yeah, I have about 5 to 10 ways, but I feel like these 3 are essential in getting the process started. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if you have any tips, you can always DM me. Maybe that'll be in the next video. And just let me know how you like it. Like it, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. All right? All right.